When he pulled in my driveway at 10 o'clock on Saturday morning, I looked down and he's coming across the yard with equipment. I said, "Who is this?" "Oh, I forgot to tell you, we're Rainbow this morning." See, I didn't have time to say a whole lot. The guy came in my home and I told him on no uncertain terms, there's a 5-month-old Electrolux in that closet. Not knowing that my Electrolux cost several $100 more than the Rainbow that I was there to show us. But there's a 5-month-old Electrolux in that closet. It's financed for 24 months. And I don't care if your machine's spit gold out on the floor. I'm not interested in what you got. He continued to pull equipment out of the box. And what he said was, I knew the guy. And that was another problem. He worked with me at Rosie's. And I wasn't real fond of him. Let's put it that way. So he's there with a machine that I really don't want to see. And he's there as somebody I really don't care a whole lot about. He asked for 30 minutes of my time. Give me 30 minutes. If I can't prove to you beyond any shadow about you, what you're doing is helping a friend of yours win a free shampoo. So I understand that we did the same things way back in 1982 we do today. The reason the Rainbow company doesn't sell the $400 shampoo, the $250 model, the $150 Rainbow Mate, the $150 Rainmate, the reason we don't sell those things with the machine, number one, we're running the price of the machine astronomical. And secondly, we want the customer, we know that word of mouth advertising is the very best form of advertising. So way back in 1982, the electric shampoo that we had was a piece compared to what we have today. But it was what we had in 1982. Okay? We looked at a Rainbow that day. I got a friend of mine, one of my wife's best friends, on a shampoo. For 30 minutes into the demonstration, like he asked me to sit down and give him 30 minutes. I did wear a watch at that time. I sat on the couch and I looked at my arm and I told him, beyond any shadow of doubt, you got 30 minutes. Well, he knew he couldn't do his presentation in 30 minutes, but he also knew that he was either going to get my interest or not in 30 minutes. When 30 minutes rolled along, I was on my knees trying to help sell them more. And 2 months later, I was selling Rainbows for a living. So I'm all about witnessing to you guys and having you learn how to witness to other people how to change their lives. See, guys, this is a vehicle. I hope I can make you understand what I'm saying today. It's an awesome, awesome piece of equipment. It's the only thing on the market that makes any sense at all. I don't want to turn you into vacuum cleaner salesmen. I want to turn you into leaders. I want to turn you into showing people a better way of life. Okay? Let this be a tool that gets you there. I mean, when you go in a customer's home, I don't want you to try to just show them how dirty their house is. I don't want you to go in a home and if you go in a home, I always felt this way. If you go in a home and act like a salesman, you'll get treated like one. I don't want to get treated like a salesman, and I'm not going to act like one. You know, one of the first things I say when I go in a customer's house, after I warm up with them, shake their hands, keep eye contact, spend the first 5 minutes and warm up. See, if you go in a home and you start taking stuff out of the box and whatever, now you're going to get treated like a salesman. First 5 to 10 minutes you're in somebody's house is not this you're selling. It's this that you're selling. Nobody buys something from somebody they don't want. So you have to warm up with them. You have to talk about the weather. You have to talk about the kids. You have to talk about the deer hitting on the wall. It don't make any difference what you talk about, but you have to break the ice. You got to make them feel comfortable with you. I mean, if you really want all of it, you have to show up on time. Okay? You can't pull up in their driveway at 10 minutes after 7. You're supposed to do that at 7. You've already made one bad step. Okay? They were looking out the window at 7 o'clock, hoping you weren't coming. You understand? I don't want to show up at 6:45. It shows you I'm too eager. I don't want to show up at 7:15. It's going to take you all time left. I want to show up so close to 7 o'clock. If I'm supposed to be there at 7, I want to show up so close to 7. He's going to look at the clock, pulling the blinds down, and say, "Oh, man, he's here." But I'm on time. Firm handshake, eye contact, all of these things are so important. When you get inside the house, spend 10 minutes. Spend 5 to 10 minutes I've seen you before somewhere at work. I already know that. I got it on my phone call. But I've seen you before. Go to church. See, I'm going to talk about something other than rainbow. I'm going to make friends before I get here. Because trust me, when I get here, I'll be ready to get here. But if I'm the only one that gets here, we're in trouble. I got to get everybody here. Does that make sense? I'm a yard fanatic. You let me pull in somebody's yard and they got a well-manicured yard, I can spend the 5 to 10 minutes talking about how wonderful your yard looks. You do all of your landscaping. Now see, if I pull in your yard and your grass is this tall and your beds are this tall and weeds, man, I can't talk about your landscaping. Who does your landscaping? You need to find them. Everywhere's looking yard on the street. No. What you talk about has to be genuine and make the people feel good about coming. Don't we all like to get compliments? Well, compliment somebody when you go in a house about something. I mean, if it's the decor of the house, if it's your furniture, if whatever, but make them feel warm and cozy about something before you start. Does that make sense? Okay. When we've done all that, I'm going to skip a Rainmate presentation this morning. But I really shouldn't. The Rainmate presentation gears you for coming back in again. I do hope that everybody does their Rainmate presentation in the kitchen. You warm up with them in the den. When I go in somebody's house and I spend 5 to 10 minutes on them and warm up, I'm actually scoping their house out. I'm looking at where I want you to sit, where I want the husband and wife to sit when I put the rainbow on stage. This is a stage, y'all do know that, right? The box that the rainbow comes in, the rainbow performs on the stage. This box and this machine should be about as close to where I've got this husband and wife right now. I'm going with people on appointments, and this box will be 25 feet away from them. And you're standing back over on the other side of the room, and you're saying, guys, look at that. This work better plug up. Okay? You can't be on the other side of the room and rake the carpet and say, hey, look at that. I want to be about as close to the customer. And they probably don't be sitting in chairs. They're going to be sitting on the couch, love seat, or whatever. But the box that the rainbow performs on, I want them to be just about as close to it. I want to be, when I rake the carpet, it's right here, not over here. There's just little things that you should do that would make a world of difference in what happens in your home. The Rainmate presentation, the warm-up is in the beginning. The vacation night should be given in the beginning. Once you finish your warm-up, once you get everybody, knowing everybody's first name, and see, I'll take my call, and all the way to the customer's home. If I'm looking at Debbie and Jackie, because during this presentation, I'm going to personalize this person's presentation for Debbie and Jackie. You understand? This is Joyce and Keith. And about every time I want to make a point with this presentation, Keith, listen, I'm going to call their names. If I have to write it on the inside of my palm of my hand, this presentation is personalized to these guys. And if I call their names 25 times during the presentation, they understand I personalize, and I remember their names. You understand? One day this week, I forgot to write it on the inside of my hand. Guess what? The guy's name was, I think his name was Daniel. I called him Larry something several times during the demonstration. He finally straightened me out. But all of these things that I'm telling you are just little tidbits that will change just a little bit about how successful you can be. Okay? When I'm done with warm-up, and the warm-up's done in the evening, I'm going to have my blue bag and my Rainmate, and I'm going to have my kit. And I'm going to have I'm going to pitch the Rainmate in the den. I'm going to pitch the vacation in the den. There's 4 pretty good reasons why we came out to see you today. You do know that, right? I want you to be able to tell the people why you're there. Okay, the first reason we're here is to say thank you. Okay, I know it's a busy time in everybody's life, and I'm sure you could follow 100 things you'd rather do tonight than have us in your home for the rainbow. But we want to say thank you for letting us come out. I want to thank you personally for giving me the opportunity to share a rainbow food with you. There's a vacation our company's going to give you the same thing. Don't let me forget to give you this. The second reason I'm here is to invite you to an open house. I want you to know that our company is growing by leaps and bounds, and we're looking for people every day that might want to supplement their income. I might not be talking to you personally, but I bet you know someone that would benefit from knowing that our company's growing. Okay? We're looking for part-time, full-time, sometime, anytime. We're looking for people that would like to get involved. Third reason I'm here is to get your opinion. Okay? Our product is phenomenal, and you're going to see so. We want to find out what you personally think of what our product is all about. If you see something you fall in love with, I want you to tell everybody you know. If for some reason you don't like it, I want you to promise don't you tell us something. Say it with a joke. Say it with a laugh. I'm not worried about them not liking it. You know what I'm saying? Fourth reason here is to ask for your help. We do everything we do by advertising. Word of mouth advertising. You'll never see this piece of equipment advertised on a billboard on the side of the road, television, commercial, whatever. We advertise by word of mouth. Okay? So the first reason I'm here was what? To say thank you. The thank you, again, personally, I want to thank you for letting me come out. The vacation we give is 2 nights and 3 days. It's a weekend. Okay? You have until November 30th, 2015 to take it. This is not a timeshare. It's a true vacation. You're going to stay at something like a Sheraton or a Ramada or Fairfield Inns. Now, it's 2 nights and 3 days. It's not just a weekend. We're not going to any of these exotic places for a weekend. You're not going to Aruba. You're not going to the Dominican Republic. But I bet we would take a trip to Williamsburg for a weekend. Wouldn't that be nice? How about Myrtle Beach for a weekend? How about Hilton Head for a weekend? How about up in the mountains to Gatlinburg, Pigeon Forge for a weekend? See, we got the mountains and the coast covered. It's 2 nights and 3 days. What we're giving you are your accommodations. You'll stay at something again, like a Holiday Inn, Sheraton, or Ramada. Okay? Choose where you're going, choose when you're going. It's 2 nights and 3 days. All we ask is you have a great time when you go. An action causes a reaction. See what happened? If I gave you 3 more of those vacations right now, you can't have one of them. But if I gave you 3 more of those vacations right now, and asked you to give them away to 3 of your best friends, 3 other couples just like yourself, would you have trouble giving them away? You would? I want you to remember those 3 names for me. Because I want to go see 3 of your best friends in it. So what I just did? You start right immediately. I would reach in my kit, hand him a referral sheet. I'd have this to write on. I'd hand him a referral sheet. Write those 3 names down for me. And let's go back in your kitchen. Let's go back in your kitchen. We did a warm-up with the vacation in the den. Let's go in the kitchen. The first piece of equipment I want to show you. Most people use it in the kitchen. And I'd have them follow me with that referral sheet. Make them write down those 3 contacts. I gave you 3 more of those vacations. Did you have any trouble giving them away? I need 3 couples just like yourself. Write them down on the sheet. See, I got people that'll go to a home. They're chasing the sale so hard that they forget that the sale is the least important thing that happens in a home. Believe it or not, the sale is the least important thing that happens in a home. We don't punch a clock and have a 40-hour week here. When I'm in your home, I just punch the clock. If I sell you the machine, I'm going to make X amount of money. You understand that? If I pull 8 qualified referrals out of your home, I can punch the clock for a long time. If I go in your home and don't do anything but chase the sale, I leave your home with just the sale. And it's 1 out of every 3 homes that we go in that buys the machines. What that means is 2 out of 3 times we go in the home, we bring the machine back with us, right? If I go in your home and all I'm doing is chasing the sale, I'm chasing just a commission. I want to chase a future. I want to know that if I show up on time, and I make the smiling face, and I have a firm handshake, and I keep eye contact, and I become friends in the first 5 or 10 minutes I'm in your house, don't take this the way it sounds, but I'm either going to sell you or I'm not. This one is already done. You understand? This is not the most important appointment I'm on now. It's turning this one into 6 or 8 more. There's where I'm at. You understand? I can't sell you but one machine. So if I'm on time and we have a good start off, in the next 30 to 45 minutes to an hour, I'm either going to sell you a rainbow or I'm not. So this is not the most important appointment right now. It's whether I can generate more places to go while I'm here. I've never had anybody in my business quit my business if they had somewhere to show tomorrow. I mean, if you've got somewhere to show, you can punch the clock again tomorrow. I've had plenty of people leave because they showed the mom, the dad, the aunts, the uncles, the church family, and they ran out of places to go, and they didn't know how to get back on appointments, and they petered out of business. I want to show you something. There's three things we look for when we go in a home. You now read my handwriting. We're there looking for a sale. We're there looking for 8 qualified referrals. We're there looking for a recruit. If the average commission is $300 and you sell a machine, then you make $300. Am I right? If one out of every 3 shows results in a sale, and that's the national average across our country, how much is a referral sheet with 8 names on it worth? If you ever look at your referral sheets that we give you, we ask for 8 referrals in every home we go in, but if you look at your referral sheet, there's a place for 10 names on that referral sheet. You ever count them? If you qualify your leads, there will be 3 sales on a referral sheet. All right. So if we go in the house and all we're doing is chasing the sale, how much do we make? And don't have anywhere to go tomorrow. Don't have anywhere to go next week. If we go in the home, and I'm going to get my 10 leads, I'm going to make them want whatever I got bad enough that they will give me 10 leads. And if I qualify them 10 leads and 1 out of 3 people buy and I got 10 leads, well, there's 3 sales right there. Where should the emphasis be? On selling the machine or making sure that I got somewhere to go next week? I've been in Rainbow 31 years. The first year I was in the business, I sold my mom, my dad, my brother, my sister, my aunt, my church family. I tried to sell every person I knew the first year I was in the business. I'm in the business still 31 years later. You know why? Because I keep myself somewhere to go. You have to be able to punch the clock every day or you can't make money. I haven't gotten to the most important thing yet. Can you put a price tag on what a recruit's worth to you? If you can make about $150 every time somebody else sold a rainbow, how many people would you want to recruit? You know that every time your direct recruit sells a rainbow, you get to spin his wheel? There's a lot of 25s on that here. There's a couple, 3 or 4 50s. I think there's like 3 100s, and I think there's 1 150 on that. If I let you spin that thing right now 10 times, Keith, I bet you'd average about $60 spending in 10 sales. Because you're not going to hit 25 every time. You're not going to hit 50 every time. And once in a while, you're going to hit 100. And once in a while, you're going to hit 150. If I let you spin it 10 times, I think you'd average about 60, somewhere in the neighborhood of $60. Okay? A spin is worth, if you recruit someone into the business, every time he or she sells a rainbow, you get to spend that week. Okay? The instant reward is whatever you spend. Okay? If you average $60, but every time you get 10 sales from your recruits, take Wes Evans. BONUSMONEY would spell out bonus money. Do you know what that means? That means that Wes Evans has had somebody in his downline sell 10 machines. Every time you have a direct person, not just one. If you don't have one, you got to wait for that one to sell 10. But every time, let's say you had 10 recruits, and all 10 of them sold 1 a week. Do you think we might could teach 10 of your directs how to sell 1 rainbow a week? I think I can. But if you get 10 directs, and all of them sell 1 rainbow a week, you spin this wheel 10 times. Whatever it lands on 10 times, that's what you get. But because you got 10, what are you going to make the next machine you sell? No, you're going to make $1,000. So if you take 10 spins times what I'm telling you about, $50 to $60 spending, okay, 60 here and 10 divided, $1,000 divided by 10 sales is $100. Every one of these letters is worth $100, isn't it? So aren't you making about $150 every time one of your recruits sell a machine? If you could make $150 every time somebody else sold a Rainbow, how many people you want to recruit? I want you to go in a home. I want you to go in a home and stop trying to sell the Rainbow. I want you to go in a home and sell opportunity. I want you to understand that you should not be the only person that was offered that opportunity. Don't prejudge who is and who isn't. We've had people in our business that you wouldn't have thought would have come into business. Preachers, lawyers, people that you would think that don't need the money. Don't prejudge who would and who wouldn't. But if you can remember this for me, the sale is the instant reward for being in the house. And I can't tell you in 31 years when I leave a driveway, there's a big one. I got them. Okay? But I can't live off of that one the rest of my life. The most important thing that comes out of a home is not the sale. The most important thing that comes out of a home is a recruit. Because you couldn't put a price tag, you could not put a value on what a recruit's worth. Okay? Without sounding like I'm patting myself on the back, wouldn't you have liked to recruit me? How many spins and letters would you get off of me? I mean, how would you like to recruit this guy? How would you like to recruit Michelle? How would you like to recruit anybody that's moving a bunch of volume? It's understand that they're there and we're walking over top of them chasing sales. This is the instant reward for being in the house. But the longevity of the business is right here and right here. Can I make you understand that? Okay, time of preaching. So we warmed up. We gave them a vacation. We made the vacation a 2-night, 3-day holiday. You could take your wife and go have a great time. If I gave you 3 more of those vacations, would you have any trouble giving them away? No, we can give them away. Why don't you write those friends? Maybe you might want to travel with them. But give me 3 more couples just like yourself on the referral sheet. Let's go back in your den, and I want to show you what the rainbow's all about. Now, when I set them in the den, I do want them to sit together. Okay, if the husband tries to sit over there in that recliner and the wife sitting here on the love seat, you're going to get seasick trying to talk to both of them. I never bring the rainbow and Tylenol in at the same time I bring the Rainmate in my kit. Because I want to have to go back outside and get the rainbow and have them have time to work on referrals while I'm gone. But I left them in the kitchen, on the kitchen table, working on referrals. There's no better place for them to work on referrals than in the kitchen. And when you take people in the kitchen and pitch the Rainmate instead of pitching the Rainmate in the den, you know, if they're sitting down in the den, all relaxed and whatever, and you got your Rainmate sitting over here, you got to fake it until you make it when you put fragrances in that thing. I mean, they're 10, 12 feet away. Don't you know that if you take them in the kitchen, have them at the bar in the kitchen, their elbows are right here on top of the Rainmate. When you put lemon in the water, it's right there, they smell it. When you put eucalyptus in it, it's right now. But if the husband and wife, if you pitch that Rainmate in the den, and they're sitting over here on the couch, and the Rainmate's 10 feet away, I got to sit here and fake it. Man, that smells good, doesn't it? And after about 5 minutes, it sure does, doesn't it? Take them in the kitchen. There's 2 places I find that people use the Rainmate. They'll use it in their kitchen to eliminate cooking odors, and they're going to use it in their bedroom. Now, I might have warmed up pretty good with you, but I'm not quite comfortable asking you to follow me to the bedroom. That was a joke. Take them in the kitchen. Have them sit down at the table, have the Rainmate so close to them that when you put lemon, orange, mulberry, or whatever you put in it, it's immediate that they smell it. And let them, I'm going to make them choose. I don't take 25 deodorizers, fragrances in the house. I take about 6. And I'll put one in and say, which thing of that, and put something in, put whatever. I'm going to make the Rainmate the greatest thing since sliced bread in the kitchen. It's a $150 item. We'd like to give it away. How do we give it away? I need you to help me get 4 homes. 4 homes just like yours. You ever heard the expression, man, you get what you ask for? See, if you don't ask for what you want, you don't get it. I need 4 homes just like yours. Okay? Husband and wife, find a home. I need 4 couples just like you. I'm going outside to get the rainbow. I'll be back in just a couple of minutes. I'm going to set it up in the game. Is that okay? When I go out to get the rainbow pound nozzle, I've already decided where I want the husband and wife to sit. I've already decided that I think write the names down and I'll be back in a few minutes. When they come out of the kitchen in here, it's pretty obvious that I want them to sit right here. Now, if they don't sit there, you got to ask them. I'm going to sit right here in front of me because this is going to be nice. This is going to be good. Okay? All right. We're going to get started in presentation. Are y'all ready? We're good? Look at where I'm at. Look at where I got the husband and wife. Look how close we're at the stage. Set to the customer. Keith, this water came right out of your faucet. I'm not asking you to drink it. I'm just asking you to tell me it's clean. Phyllis, if you drank that water if it was in a glass, wouldn't you? We would certainly drink that water if it was in a glass. Let me ask you something. Have you ever seriously cleaned anything in your life without using water to clean it? Take a bath tonight. What's the most important ingredient in the bathtub? It's not soap, is it? Got to have water clean. I want to teach you today that water is essential to clean. You know, if you drop a lot of clothes in the washing machine, it can make a difference how much washing powder you put in the machine. Lord have mercy. Let me say this to you. I don't want you. I take my shoes off when I walk in any customer's house. I don't care how nasty their house is. I take my shoes off at the door. And almost 100% of the time, the customer will say, don't take your shoes off. You need your hair. Home I was in yesterday had dog hair all over it. My socks were just covered before I even got into the den. I take my shoes off at my back door of my house. I have to take them off the shoes. That's what I always tell them. I don't want somebody to get upset with me that I didn't take my shoes off. So I take my shoes off at the back door. Number one, when I'm on my knees kneeling, I have a tendency to scar my shoes up. So I don't want to ruin my shoes. But I take my shoes off at everybody's house at the back door. Let's get back in this air wash. I'm sorry. I was fixing to get on my knees and I realized I had shoes on. So you've never cleaned anything seriously without using water to clean. Is that correct? I want to show you today how to take 2.5 quarts of water to clean everything in your house. Not just your carpet. Not just your furniture. I want to show you how to filter and clean the air in your house. Okay? You need to breath fresh air right this second. Where would you go to get it? Why do we go outside to breath fresh air? Mother Nature washes the air outside every 24 hours with some form of water. Whether it's rain, sleet, snow, dew. Every 24 hours, Mother Nature washes, cleanses, purifies the air outside. Keith, when's the last time you washed the air in your house? When's the last time you brought the water hose from outside inside, put it on, and washed the air in your house? Now, done that lately? You think about what I'm trying to tell you, the air in your house is stagnant. You've got air conditioner for the summer, you've got heat for the winter, you've got insulation on your walls. We're trying to preserve energy with that, and we're doing a good job of preserving energy. What we're also doing is doing a great job of storing germs and bacteria inside the house. You ever seen a ray of sunlight shining through your windows? You ever notice how much dust there was on that ray of sunlight? I want you to look right here at the end of my finger, right here. Tell me what you see. You can see them now? Out of sight's out of mind. When a ray of sunlight shows it to you, it's pretty obvious, isn't it? Can you see these pretty well? Can you see it? Yes, sir. Okay. I want you to know that by the naked eye, you can only see 1/10 of what's underneath that light. 90% of the dust is in our homes is so microscopic we can't see it. I'm going to help you see it. You ready? You know what happens every time you take a step across carpet? You know what happens every time you sit down on the couch? You're still only looking at 1/10. Did you know that dust particles transported down? Did you know that every time we go outside, there's things outside called filtered streets that we bring back in on the sole of our shoes? That's another pretty good reason to take your shoes off. You go out, we go outside all the time. Go to work, go to play, go to the mailbox, walk the dog. But on the soles of our shoes, we bring them to the house with things such known as the filtered streets. People spit on sidewalks. There's dog and cat droppings outside. There's all kinds of things that we accidentally don't even know about. We track it in the house. But the next thing you know, you take a step across the carpet and you're breathing whatever you brought in. The first thing I want to show you about a rainbow has absolutely nothing to do with cleaning carpet. I want to show you how to filter and clean the air in your house. Would that be nice? I want you both to look right here. Tell me what's happening to the dust in the floor. All of the floor to the bottom. Can you see it? Yeah. Okay. Feel right here for me. I want you to know that from left to right here in your living room, for the next 10-15 minutes, all the air in this area is going to pass through the water. The concept is wet dust doesn't fly. If I can take your air and pull it through the water, everything that's inside your home, I can throw it and clean it like everywhere. I'm not trying to blow you away. That don't smell like a vacuum cleaner. That just smell clean. See, that's the first breath of fresh air you've ever had sitting on the couch. See, the air I'm giving you right now is being pulled from here, it's being drawn through water. Wet dust doesn't fly. So I'm giving you a breath of fresh air that you don't have to go outside to get. You understand? How long have you run the machine? Good guess. 3 minutes ago, you and I would have drank this water, right? I want you to tell me how much of that water you would drink right now. Wouldn't drink it? Wouldn't drink it. Well, let me answer this. If we wouldn't drink it, why are we breathing it? Your lungs and your sinuses are every bit as moist as that water does. If I can take that much dust out of the air in the room in about 3 minutes, aren't you breathing the same thing in the house day in and day out? The first thing you learn about a rainbow is if you never hook a hose to the machine, you can purify the air in your house. I want you to know that the rainbow, there's approximately 300 different makes and models of vacuum cleaners sold in the United States. We're the only machine on the market that's certified with the Allergy and Asthma Association that we are an air purifier. Okay? This is an air-cooled motor. Every ounce of air that goes in the machine passes through cold water to go through it. Doesn't hurt the machine to leave it running. We don't expect to put our system in a closet. By the time there's not a hose hooked to the machine using it as a vacuum cleaner, it should run 24/7 as an air purifier. I want you to know you'd be astounded at how infrequently you have to dust tabletops, paddle fans, mini blinds, catch it, don't you? You'd be astounded at how infrequently you have to dust your home if you could run rainbow every day. When I go in somebody's home, I'm really not trying to change how often you vacuum your house. Incidentally, how often do you vacuum? That's twice a week. That's very normal. See, I'm telling you, if you vacuum twice a week with whatever you're using, I would expect to vacuum with this twice a week. But what time there's not a hose to the machine using the vacuum cleaner, it should run 24/7 as an air purifier. If you take the dust out of the air, you're not breathing it. If you take it out of the air, it's not settling in your house. Does that make sense to us? Okay. Tell a wife that she's not going to have to dust her house as often. I mean, they're excited. They're excited already. Okay. I say never. I very seldom put the rainbow disinfectant, the clean air, in a Rainmate. Because I want there to be enough difference between the Rainmate and this that I don't want the Rainmate to be, well, I'm just going to get you in enough homes, I'll have a Rainmate in each home and all through my house. I want there to be enough difference between this machine and a Rainmate. I want them to want the Rainmate. But I want this to be a superior piece of equipment to that Rainmate. Does that make sense? I want to show you the very first thing I want to put in the machine. I didn't put this in before. It's called fresh air. Okay. First thing that people notice when they come inside the house is what? Not what the house looks like, it's what it smells like. And if you want to lead the customer So listen, the first thing that people notice when they come inside the house is not what it looks like. What is the first thing they notice? You point at your nose and tell them what to say. The first thing you notice is not what it looks like, but what it smells like. I want you to know that we have a fresh air, okay? Let me tell you what this is. Very first active ingredient in this is alcohol. The second active ingredient is triethylene glycol. These are chemicals that kill germs. When I put this in water, this is actually going to smell a little bit like a doctor's office to you. I'm not telling you that doctor's offices use rainbow products. I am telling you that doctor's offices use the same ingredients to spray their waiting room so this patient won't catch this patient's germs while they're waiting. If I shoot a couple drops of this in the water, it's a very clean smell. And again, it doesn't smell like a doctor's office, doesn't it? But I'm killing germs and bacteria on contact. There are a lot of germs and bacteria inside the home that can't get out. A rainbow washes the air. Put this in the water, you're killing them germs. Now, if you don't want your house to smell like a doctor's office, I put this in the water first. Which one of the fragrances did you like the best in the kitchen? The lemon, the orange, the mulberry? Which one did you like the best? Mulberry. Okay. Well, if I shoot fresh air into the machine first, and then I put a couple of drops of mulberry on top of it, the house will smell like mulberry. But the disinfectant is doing this job. Isn't that nice? So, how much carpet did we clean yet? Not a stitch. And I've just shown you a vacuum cleaner that if you never hook a hose to it, you'll purify the air in your house every single day. Remember, it's not supposed to go in a closet. The only time this thing goes in the closet is if you're going on vacation. If you're going on vacation, you're going to be gone 5 or 6 days. There's nobody here to keep water in. 24 hours a day, 7 days a week, a regular run, purifying air in your house. Got it?
Got it.
You had it in your house, did you use it?
Absolutely.
Awesome, awesome. Let's talk about a vacuum cleaner for a few minutes. Was that pretty simple air wash? Let me tell you what I try to do at home. If there's an 8-year-old child sitting beside mom and dad, I want the 8-year-old to understand it. This doesn't have to be complicated. We don't have to spit out statistics and all this kind of crap. That's not what sells the machine. What sells the machine is simplicity of knowing why it works. I've always wanted an 8-year-old child sitting beside mom and dad and thinking, you don't get that yet, mom? I want the child to understand it. Because if the child got it, there's a pretty good chance mom and dad got it. What do you think? You like what you've seen? You had it in your house, would you use it? Do you know anybody that has breathing problems in home? I'm talking about kids with allergies, asthma, any kind of breathing problems. I need you to write those names down on the sheet too. See, you can pull referrals from each phase of the demonstration. You pull it from the rainbow. If you pull 2 more referrals from after an air wash, you know of anybody that has really severe breathing problems, allergies, children that have severe breathing problems? Jot their names down because they need to see this, don't you think? See, I don't want to wait to the end of the demonstration and say, oh, by the way, I need 8 names from them. You can use names during your presentation. All right, you like what you've seen? Had it in your house, you'd use it. Let's talk about a vacuum cleaner for a few minutes. I've shown you what the rainbow will do with no hoses. Let's talk about a vacuum cleaner. Can I borrow your machine a minute? Sure. So many people in my deal, if I let the rainbow perform on stage, you got to have their vacuum cleaner perform on stage too. It's only fair, isn't it? So you take our machine off stage and you put theirs on stage. Now don't make fun of it. In fact, when the guy came in my house and he asked me to get my vacuum out, remember that 5-month-old Electrolux that I had? I thought he'd leave when I went and got my Electrolux. I was impressed with his air wash. Wasn't ready to buy it because I was still making payments on the Electrolux. But when he asked me to go get my Electrolux key, I thought, I'll pump my chest out. I had an Electrolux. I went and got that Electrolux, and I thought when he said I had an Electrolux, he'd be ready to leave. He set my Electrolux on the box, and he said this to me. Very high dollar vacuum. I can tell that you care about cleaning because you spent that kind of money trying to clean the house. So he was building me up because I cared about the condition of my house. I cared about my kids. I spent I bought a high dollar vacuum cleaner. Okay? First thing I want you to know is there are two kinds of vacuums. A canister and an upright. Okay, this is an upright, the Rainbow's a canister. I want you to also know that vacuum cleaners essentially work off of 4 parts. A vacuum cleaner number 1 has to have an intake. A vacuum cleaner number 2 has to have a motor. A vacuum cleaner number 3 has to have a filter. A vacuum cleaner number 4 has to have what? Did you know that already, or are you guessing? Because I ask my customers, can you name me the 4th part of a vacuum? They'll say cord. They'll say the handle. Keith, when you and I physically inhale, what's the next thing we do? We exhale. When you turn a vacuum cleaner on, does it make sense to you that a vacuum cleaner inhales and a vacuum cleaner has to exhale? Don't ever think the dirt is inside your vacuum cleaner got there by mistake. The dirt is inside your vacuum cleaner is only there because air put it there. So when you turn a vacuum cleaner on, the motor in a vacuum cleaner is nothing more but a series of fans. Those fans are generating air from the machine. So when you turn it on, you hear the motor come on. The fans are turning on. The fans they're generating air. When the motor turns on, the motor is pulling air. The air is pulling dirt. Air and dirt simultaneously go in the machine. Air and dirt simultaneously go in here. The dirt's supposed to stop right here. The air to put the dirt here can't stop here. It's got to exhaust. So what am I telling you? I'm telling you that your filters are porous. Look up the word porous in Webster's dictionary. Porous means holes. Don't you smell your vacuum cleaner every time you vacuum? Why do we smell them? Are you smelling the heat of your motor? What are you smelling? Did you know that there was a secondary filter over here on the exhaust of this machine? Did you know what I'm saying? There's a filter here, there's a filter here, and there's a secondary filter here. If you understand what I'm trying to tell you, this is the last ditch effort to stop air from taking dirt out of the machine. This is the last ditch right here. Anything that I show you that's on this last filter at one time is inside that machine. You would unplug the wrong one. I mean, all of that at one time was inside that vacuum cleaner. This is the last filter on the exhaust trying to stop the stuff from coming out of the machine. You understand? Let's back up a minute. You know what that is? That's a filter also. It's a sponge filter. Why do we put so many filters in vacuum cleaners? What's the purpose of a filter? The purpose of a filter in a vacuum cleaner is to separate air from dirt, right? You'll dump the cylinder pretty regularly when you vacuum, right? When's the last time you washed the filter? Sir? Okay. Don't answer this question if you don't want to, but you wash the sheets on your bed pretty regularly, don't you? Yes. Don't they feel good when you wash them? What is that? That's a filter. And all of these things are just coated with dust. We can call it dust if you want to. A vacuum cleaner is the filthiest thing in your house. You know that? There's a garbage can in your kitchen, you empty it every single day. There's a garbage filter inside your vacuum cleaner. Well, right now there's about 3, I missed one. Here's one more. Did you know that was there? That's there on the top of the breather of the motor. One last effort to try to save that motor. You've never vacuumed before with a 200-watt light bulb showing you if air was coming in the machine, air got to be coming out of the machine, right? The guy that sold you this machine, he didn't have a light to show you what was coming in. Well, if air goes in here, hasn't air got to come out here? Is there any way for the air to go in this machine to stay inside the machine? So a vacuum cleaner inhales and exhales just like you and I. I want you to watch right here, realize I'm not vacuuming. Tell me what this is clean. Just turn it up. Where's all that right there going to be in 4 hours? All over your furniture, your curtains. You wonder why your lampshades are dirty. Let me tell you, you can only see 1/10. You still can only see 1/10. A vacuum cleaner is the nastiest thing that's in your house. You know what happens? You vacuum your house, your motor gets good and warm. You wind the cord up when you're through. You set the thing in a closet. It becomes an incubator. Everything that you see here is sitting on top of a heated motor. You set it in a closet, everything that's here, it's an incubator. It's a perfect breeding place for germs. 3 or 4 days later, we're going to pull it out, we're going to run air in there, we're going to stir it all up and exhaust it again. Does it make any sense in the world to pick it up on this end, blowing out this end? Can I make you aren't you? Oh, yeah, did you? This is a Bissell. And I think you could probably buy a Bissell at Walmart for $189 maybe. If I had a Dyson sitting on this box, would it have an intake, a motor, a dry filter, and exhaust? If I had a Kirby sitting on this box, would it have an intake, a motor, a dry filter, and exhaust? You follow what I'm trying to get you to see? A vacuum with a dry filter works the same way. You know, I've gone to people's homes that spent $179 and bought a vacuum. I've been in people's homes that spent $3,500 and bought a vacuum. The only difference between those two machines was the money. Both machines work the same way. Air goes in, air's got to come out. Storing germs and bacteria in the closet, pumping air through it every week. Did you know that? Well, let's do this. If you left a slice of bread on the countertop for a week or 10 days, would it mold? Sure would, wouldn't it? When we take vacuum cleaners and pick up the food particles, we vacuum. Because you know yourself, we eat a sandwich, your kid wife's not looking, we knocking crumbs off on the floor. That's a man thing, you know that. If that slice of bread would mold on the countertop in a week or 10 days, don't you think that everything, the food particles we vacuum up and vacuum would mold? Aren't you going to pump air through it? If an exterminator came to your house right now and pumped his poison up, where is he going to spray? He's going to spray it in the middle of the floors, the baseboards, all the way around the house, all through the house. Now he's spraying for flies and mosquitoes and ants and spiders, whatever. Those insects are attracted to that poison. They'll crawl over there and get in that poison and get sick. They just won't crawl outside before they die. They'll crawl out here on the floor and die. When you run over a fly, you ever hit a fly with a fly swatter? I don't know. Sometimes it just snaps. You know, when you run over a fly that's been in that poison, you don't know you're right, but you pick him up. Where's the fly going? Going in here. Well, the first thing that's going to happen is this bigger bar's turning on that floor. We're going to mangle that fly. We're going to send all kinds of fly parts up in here. We ain't changed it. We just changed the filter, so we ain't going to change it again for another 6 weeks or so. How many times are we going to pump air through that nasty fly that's decaying in that machine before we decide we had enough of it? A lot of the breathing problems that exist in people's homes today are actually aggravated by what they're storing in their closet and pumping air through it. Any questions? To listen. To listen. Knowing you were thirsty, if I took a glass of water right now and strained it right through the center of the cylinder and called it on here, would you ever be thirsty enough to drink that water? Not hard, right? And if you've ever watched the reality show Survivor, they drink that water in a heartbeat. Yeah. What chance to win $1 million? But you and I wouldn't drink water. That's crazy. Nobody drink water. Pete, if I open this cylinder up right now and found a bunch of cheese balls down here in the bottom, they're still orange, they're still crisp, but you saw me dig them out of here and put them on the plate. Would you eat them? Yes?
That's just like
Guys, my point is if you wouldn't drink it, you wouldn't eat it. It doesn't make a lot of sense to you. Any questions? Would y'all consider that machine dead?
Yeah.
Because let me tell you something. I've got timid salespeople that go in homes. They do an air wash. But they're scared to death that they're going to offend somebody talking about their vacuum cleaner. You can't be timid with this. Let me tell you, our system is $2,689, right? If I don't make the problem severe enough that you want to solve it, you shouldn't solve it. If you don't have a problem, you shouldn't solve the problem. This has got to be a problem. It's got to be what it is. When we go in a customer's home, our job is to teach them there's a problem in their house. Now let me show you the solution. if they don't have a problem, they shouldn't have to. There's no reason for them to solve the problem. Does that make sense? This has got to be dead, not wounded. When we tell you to air wash is first, and the next thing you got to do is do a back kill, it's a back kill. You got to kill it. You can't put it up here on the box and say, guys, there's two kinds of vacuum. There's a canister and upright. And I hate to tell you this, when air comes in, air takes dust out. If you think that's a dead vacuum cleaner, they'll use it the rest of their life. But if you put it up here on the box and let them understand there's more germs and bacteria in a vacuum cleaner than you could store anywhere else in your house. If a fly fell dead in your carpet and you put it in the machine, you're going to mash him up and send him in that filter. You're going to pump air to that decaying fly. The bread comes on the floor. The sliced bread with mold on the counter, it's going to mold in the vacuum. You have to make the problem a problem so they'll want to solve the problem. Make sense? Don't be afraid to kill their vacuum. Because when I went and got my Electrolux out of the closet, I pumped my chest out, thought I had a vacuum. And when he got done talking to me about dry filters, my chest kind of pulled in and I laid my machine on one side like he wanted me to. Got it? All right. I've just shown you one of the problems that exist in a dry filter. If air goes in the machine, air's got to come out. Let me show you something. The Rainbow has 4 parts too. Can you count them? We have an intake, a motor, we have a filter, we have an exhaust. Our system wasn't made on Mars. It's the same machine you got. Where are we different? We use water for a filter. Everybody else uses a dry filter. Keith, you remember telling me you never seriously cleaned anything in your life without using water to clean it? Well, I want to show you how to take 2.5 quarts of water and clean every single thing in your house. The Rainbow, unplugged. The Rainbow has an intake, a motor, a water filter, and exhaust. When I turn my machine on, my machine does the same thing yours does. It inhales. It exhales. Amazing, isn't it? We inhale, we exhale. We inhale and exhale through the water filter though. Let me ask you this. If you ride down a dirt road, it's been 3 weeks since it rained. I know that's hard to imagine right now. But if you ride down a dirt road, it's been 3 weeks since it rained. Will there be a cloud of dust behind you at 40 miles an hour?
3 weeks since it rained? Yes, it did.
You have a cloud of dust. Yesterday, much as it rained yesterday morning, if you ride down a dirt road, how much dust you going to see? Concept is wet dust doesn't fly. That's what we got here. Remember that this thing is a certified air purifier. Once you know, when I hook a hose to it and turn it into a vacuum cleaner, it's just as much a certified air purifier. When the hose is hooked to it, this one is running with no hose. Does that make sense? Let me prove it to you. Once you roll on one of these, gauze cloth is a very porous material that air passes through it. The filters you have in your vacuum cleaner are very porous. I want you to look up the word porous in Webster's dictionary and understand that porous means holes. You understand what that means? That means you're vacuuming your house with a bag full of holes. That don't sound too healthy, does it? Can you see me?
Yes.
I can see you. It's pretty obvious that this is porous. Okay? I'm going to place this here. We're going to call this a filter. Don't ever let the customer put their vacuum cleaner back in the closet. And incidentally, I'm pushing because I gotta leave you at 12 o'clock to go to Fayetteville today. I should do 52 strokes with this machine before I get here. When I finish a back heel, I can't just set it over there on the toner. I now have to do the area that I'm going to vacuum with this. 52 strokes. You know what 52 strokes means? There's 52 weeks in a year. Most people vacuum their house at least once a week. I want to give this area that I'm fixing to do, this part of the demonstration, I want to use their machine, and I want to vacuum 52 strokes right here in front of them with their machine. Why am I doing that? Because I'm going to give their vacuum cleaner every opportunity to prove to the customer that it's not working. If you don't vacuum with their machine with 52 strokes, 52 weeks in a year, we're doing a year's worth of cleaning right here. If you don't use their machine and do that, the first test pod you pull, the customer will say, well, it's been about 2 weeks since we vacuumed. I'm not surprised that you found it. How can they say that if you vacuum with their machine right here? Understand that? I'm just speeding the deal up because I'm gonna run out of time. I'm gonna make a vacuum cleaner, Jalissa, just like the one you're using. Can you see me? I can see you. This is obviously very porous. I'm gonna set this here. We're gonna call this a vacuum cleaner filter. If you put your finger in it, monkey see, monkey do. If I do it, I bet I can get you to do it. It's a dry filter. These rookie mistakes. Had it leaking. I placed the upholstery brush on the front of the machine. I just created an intake. See, the reason you want their machine sitting here is you want to refer to it. Look what I'm doing. I'm making your machine. On the floor, and here's an intake. What have I got? I got an intake just like it. What's right above the intake? Well, there's a filter. I've got that same filter sitting here. What's right behind the filter? There's a motor back there pulling air through that filter. That's how simple vacuum cleaners are really made. You gotta have an intake first. You gotta have a filter second. And you gotta have a motor back here that's generating air to come in the machine. So if I place a motor here, you understand I could write Hoover, Bissell, Kirby. I have to put a lot of weight on it. But if I put a motor here, I could write anything I want here. That would be a vacuum cleaner. You agree? Well, you and I both know if I put a motor here, the motor's responsibility is to generate air to go here. Air and dirt's going to go here. But the air that goes here can't stop here. The air that puts the dirt here has got to exhaust. Let's put a secondary filter back here representing the exhaust. One of the secondary filters that's in your Bissell, right? So think of that as a secondary filter. When I place this here, aren't I now using the rainbow motor as a source of power to pour air through a filtered machine? Your Bissell has an intake, it has a motor pulling air, it has a dry filter catching the dirt. It certainly has an exhaust. See what I've done? Okay. Jalissa, when does your Bissell do the very best job of cleaning your house? When does it work best? Don't tell me when Steve's using it. I want to know when the machine works best. Are you sure? Now, are you saying that because you're a rainbow dealer? What would you have said before? Because I was in a home yesterday. Well, I think it works good all the time. That's a normal answer.
Well, when you turn it on, but
Suction, when they get good suction.
For the sale,
Not that good suction.
I want to teach you something real quick. A vacuum cleaner that can pull maximum air can pull maximum dirt. Does that make sense?
Yes.
When does this machine pull maximum air? Come on.
It's clean.
Okay. How often you vacuum your house and hope it stays clean?
Clean every time.
No.
that's something with
No.
cleaning,
If this was brand spanking new, come out of the box, brand spanking new, and you brought it home, and man, it's brand new, it smells good, and it smells like whatever. But you begin to vacuum the house, you vacuum the whole house, and an hour and a half later, you open the thing up and it's still clean on the inside. Wouldn't you be upset that it's still clean? Don't you want your filter to get dirty? Didn't you just tell me it works better when it's got clean filter in?
Gotcha.
Did you shoot yourself in the foot?
Yeah.
Now, let me show you something. Clean filters move maximum air. Okay? Anytime your vacuum cleaner has clean filters, you're moving 100% maximum air. Hold your test box like this. If I were your maid, and I was here today to clean your house, the more air I can pull while I'm vacuuming, the more dirt I pull. Does that make sense? Okay, you do remember we vacuumed this with your machine? Watch this. I want you to listen to this motor. Listen to the tone of the motor. You hear that? Why did that motor get the high pitch? Why?
It's working hard.
Why is it working hard?
Because my filter stuff.
Hold your chest off like that before you begin. Stay on top, let it go. Uh-oh. Tell me why I can't pick this up right now.
Well, the filter.
If I continue to vacuum your house with no air, what am I cleaning? What's wrong with this filter? It's the same thing wrong with this one. And it's not full. A vacuum cleaner bag doesn't ever fill up. If it was full, it'd be level with spinal dirt. If you look in it, it's just as much running in it now as it was when it used. See, a vacuum cleaner never fills up. A vacuum cleaner stops up. How in the world are you going to pull air through a sauna? How many germs are you looking at here? How many germs are you going to have when you put them inside of a vacuum cleaner on top of a heated motor in the closet? It's a cycle. Watch this again. Here's a clean filter. It's just like putting a brand spanking new vacuum cleaner in anybody else's vacuum. When you put a brand new filter in your machine, when you clean out all of them, don't you feel the machine drawing you can't do it? You don't do this with me. I take the exhaust off the back of my machine. As long as you feel exhaust, I got the same intake. Right? Let me show you something. If I cut off intake and I cut off exhaust, well, if there's no air coming out of the machine and there's no air coming in the machine, what am I cleaning? Nothing. Watch this. Right now, you got a lot of exhaust because I got a clean filter. Right now, if I were your maid, you're happy with me. Watch the exhaust go away. Ready? It's gone, man. A little bit of air is coming out of the machine is hot. You know why the air is hot? Because the motor's draining its hose off trying to pull air through the stopped up filter. You couldn't clean your house if I wanted to. But we push back and clean my sound. We hear them running, we think they're working. You name me anything that will work with a stopped up filter. I can't name you anything either. Your vacuum cleaner is not an exception to that rule. Let me tell you exactly what I'm asking you to see today. Do you have a washer and dryer in your house? How often do you clean the lint filter on the clothes dryer? Ain't that amazing? We'll clean the lint filter on the clothes dryer between every load of clothes. We'll put a stinking vacuum cleaner bag in the machine, leave it there 6 weeks. Think it's working. If a clothes dryer won't dry clothes with a stopped up filter, why would we think a vacuum cleaner clean your house with it? It's the same principle, is it not? A dirty filter in a vacuum cleaner will keep your vacuum cleaner from breathing. And if a vacuum cleaner is not breathing, it's not cleaning. I know it sounds corny, but say it. If a vacuum cleaner is not breathing, it's not cleaning. A vacuum cleaner has to breathe. Can somebody tell me, Jalissa, can you tell me what it takes to make a harmonica play?
Yeah.
It's well air, doesn't it? I'm in your home today to teach you it takes air to clean your house. Without air, you can't clean your house. Here's a clean filter, Keith. A clean filter is going to move a bunch of air. As long as this thing will play, obviously I'm cleaning, right? I don't want you to think I'm tricking you. Hold it for me. Feet right there, look at it. Now watch this. Uh-oh. Uh-oh. We got a problem, don't we? If there's no air going in the machine and I continue to vacuum, what am I cleaning? Why am I vacuuming? Because I hear a motor running. You have vacuumed all your life because you heard a motor running. But the reality is, most of the time when you vacuum your house, there's no air involved. Without air, you can't clean your house. A dirty filter in a vacuum cleaner will forever keep you from cleaning your house. Tell me one more time, how many germs you're looking at? When you put them inside of a vacuum cleaner on top of a heated motor, what do you got? You got a terrible problem. You've got a breathing problem looking for somewhere to happen. How about this? I want to show you in a minute what it looks like to push a vacuum cleaner just because you hear a motor on. Ready? Let's do this one more time. Here's a clean filter moving off out of air. As long as the harmonica plays, you're cleaning. Every stroke that I take, I'm literally cleaning the house less and less and less. Is that right? Is that kind of backwards? When you like to think when you vacuum your house, the longer you vacuum, the more you clean, that's not happening. It's not happening when you're not pulling air. You couldn't clean your house if I wanted to. Because the filter stopped up. All vacuum cleaner dry filters stop up. They can't help it. That's what they're supposed to do. See, I'm not picking on this machine. You'd never put a filter in this machine and hope it stayed clean. But the problem is, when the filter gets dirty, you can't clean with it. That's the problem. That's the solution right now. When these 4 filters were perfectly clean, air went right through them, did it not? Let me show you why you smell your vacuum cleaner every time you vacuum. See, this is the fine stuff that when you're vacuuming with the dry filter, you'll have an exhaust problem coming out of the machine. This is why you smell your vacuum cleaner when you're vacuuming. Why don't you do me a favor, Julius? I want you to hold that in your hand. I want to show you real quickly what it looks like to put your vacuum cleaner just because you hear a motor running. Keith, can you see this pile of dirt right there? Can you see it? I want to show you what it looks like to push a vacuum cleaner just because we hear a motor running. Everybody hear this? I want you to look at what Julius got in her hand. Look what I got in my hand. I want you to watch this pile of dirt go away. You ready? Doesn't that look nice? What did I do with that dirt? You've been doing it for years. When you push a vacuum cleaner with no air, you're not picking that dirt up. You might need to put your hand on the hose. When you vacuum a vacuum cleaner just because you hear a motor running, that's all you're basically doing is grinding the dirt out of sight. You can't be picking it up because there's no air involved. That's not the reason we bought a vacuum cleaner. We didn't buy the vacuum to bury the dirt in the market. We bought it to get it out, to get the dirt out. What if I could show you a filter today that will never stop up? See, I've got 4 parts too. I've got an intake. I've got a motor. I've got a water filter though. And keep the promise I'll make you, I'll never lose my phone. Why? Because I can't lose my intake. See, now, with the water in the filter, you'll never hear my motor change tone. And incidentally, I'm the only one that has to back on the knees. I do have a power knob. I'll just use the appointment brush to show you the instructions. I have people all the time, well, I can't get on my knees like that. Vacuum with our machine, give our machine every opportunity to fail too, because it's not going to fail. We're going to always keep air. And if you keep the moving air that you need to clean your house, you can clean your house. If I were in your house, I would vacuum the chair you're sitting on, the chair you're sitting on. I'm showing y'all what you're sitting on. Not just the carpet. I want you to test off here, not a vacuum that cushion, not a vacuum that cushion, not a vacuum the lamp. You want about 12 to 15 minimum, 12 to 15 of these laid out. Showing them how dirty filters work. Okay. This never changes. I'm obviously from an air, right? It still smell funny? Smell like mulberry? Isn't that amazing? I want you guys to know that we pick up the same germs and bacteria in our water that you pick up in your machine. The difference is it is in a liquid form. The other difference is if I'm picking up the same germs and bacteria here that you've got here, you're storing them in the closet to blow air to them every week. I'm going to pour it out in the flower bed, put 2 quarts of clean water back in the machine, and set over there in the corner and use it as an air purifier the rest of the day. See, as dirty as this water is, it's still water. The motor in a rainbow can pull air through a liquid filter. The motor in a dry filter cannot pull air at all. So the reality is, the longer you vacuum, the less you clean. Isn't that backwards? Any questions? What you do from here out is just throw an icing on the cake. I don't have to vacuum on my knees. I'm going to throw the attachments on the machine, throw the power nozzle together, I'm going to let them test drive my machine. I'm going out to the truck and get my shampoo and show them how to shampoo carpet, mop floors. The meat and potatoes of a rainbow presentation is a good solid air wash where you're teaching them that this is an air purifier and that's a germ board. A vac heel where you teach them that vacuum cleaners work this way, canisters and uprights, full parts, storing filth in the walls and pumping air through it, and then showing them a solution to the problem. I've always said that if I were any deal in the business, I got to learn how to build value in an air wash. I got to learn how to not be afraid to kill the bad, and I got to learn how to take test balls and teach them filters. This is not rocket science. This is just pure common sense. You pull air through water when you can't pull air through solid. That's what it is. And I bet I could teach you. Hey. Would be the wrong one. I bet I could teach you how to rake carpet and show that. That's pretty simple, wasn't it? An 8-year-old can do that. I bet I could teach your son. I bet I could teach your 8-year-old son how to put a test ball in the end of that pipe and make a little indentation and put this here and tell them here's an intake, here's a filter, here's a motor, and there's an exhaust. I mean, how elementary do we need to make it? You know why I'm in the rainbow business? Because we got the only thing on the market that makes any sense. And I'm stupid enough to realize that I can do it. You don't have to be a genius to do this. Go in a customer's home and teach them that there's a problem and then show them a solution to the problem. That's all we do. There are no magic wands. I've had several people recently when I open my clothes book and they see $26.89. Oh my goodness. I know, I can't believe they let us sell it this cheap either. I have to do it several times. I mean, can you really put a price tag on him? Because every time we turn a rainbow on, we're purifying air. And every time you turn yours on, you're polluting air. Can you put a price tag on healthy? Have you ever been taught that the cleaner you keep something, the longer it lasts? Rainbow is it's not going to be an expense to you. What you're looking at is a necessity. The rainbow is going to preserve and take care of everything in your house. How long have you cleaned your house with dry filters? And they haven't worked. 2.5 quarts of water lets you clean your house the rest of your life. How much does 2.5 quarts of water cost you?
But about a cup, really.
2.5 cents. 2.5 quarts of water clean your house for the rest of your life. You understand the motor in a rainbow never strains whatsoever to pull air through water. Can you imagine how hard a motor and vacuum cleaner strains pulling air through? That's the reason you replace your vacuum cleaner every 3 to 5 years. You kill your motor trying to pull air through the socket. If you had it in your house for Elizabeth, would you use it? Yeah. Would you really? That's awesome. Keith, I know you heard it. She wanted me. See, there's always a triangle in the room. There should be a triangle in the room. Should be a husband and wife, always. Always. Well, here's the head of the triangle. And the head of the triangle is not there for his health. I'm there because I'm going to show you a problem. I'm going to show you a solution. The triangle, when you get ready to close, is the head of the triangle asks the wife. If you had it, would you use it? I know you would. That's all I'm saying. I know you heard her say she'd use it. If she'd use it, we'd have to get it. Oh man, that's nice. Thank you, sir. Go to meeting house. Now, we don't stop here. It's just that I want you to know that an air wash, a vac heel, and a mini vac are the meat and potatoes of the demonstration. Everything you do after this, you're going to get off your knees. You're going to show them a power nozzle. You're going to teach them how great the power nozzle is. You're going to teach them that the power nozzle vacuums not just carpet, it vacuums laminates, hardwoods, ceramic, vacuums it all. You're gonna let them, gonna put clean water in the machine, fragrance of their choice, and you're gonna let them test drive the machine. You're going outside. You always have to go outside to get your shampoo or your rain jet. Why? You want to go out and see. I don't want to touch everything in the house. I want the first trip in the house. I want my kit and my Rainmate. I got them in the kitchen working on names, so I got to go outside and get my rainbow. I'm gonna take my time getting the rainbow because I don't want to stop them doing names. When I get to where I'm letting them test drive my machine, I want to go outside to get the shampooer because husband and wife had talked before I got there. Keep your game face on. We're not buying anything. Keep it on. We ain't buying nothing. When you go outside to get your shampoo and your rain jet, you gave them a chance not just to test drive the machine. Here's the conversation that goes while you're gone. See, they don't have that conversation in front of me. I have to go outside to get my shampoo and my rain jet to give them the opportunity to talk while I'm gone. And when I come back in, I'm going to let them see what they put in the water. Because see, what's in the water now is what I put in the machine. I always change the water when I'm through. I put clean water back in the machine, a fragrance of their choice, and I go out to get my shampoo so that when I come back, what's in the water is not what I put in the machine, it's what they put in the machine. Does that make sense? Y'all have any questions about any of what you've seen today?
Did you tell them about the price before you go to
No.
the shampoo?
No.
You just showing them.
I'm sorry. I shouldn't have done that. I never talk price until I'm ready. I got to show them everything before I show them $26.89. You see, if you try to shortchange, there are no shortcuts. See, I know that I've got people in my business that when they think they got them, they quit. I don't need to show them the shampoo. They've already decided to buy it. You understand the shampoo, the 5 minutes it's going to take to demonstrate the shampoo, it's going to generate next week's business. The stain that they have never been able to pop out of the car. Never. They use foam glory and all this kind of stuff, and the stain looks like it went away, and 2 weeks later it's back and it's bigger than it was first time. Well, that's because they left soap in the carpet. Our shampoo is the only shampoo on the market that has a wash and a rinse cycle where when you wash that stain out, we rinse our soap out. Okay? You have to demonstrate the thing. See, I can't imagine, it takes me less than 5 minutes to demonstrate the shampoo and less than 5 minutes to demonstrate the rain jet. If I got you on the edge of the seat and I know I've got you right now, why wouldn't I spend another 10 minutes making you want products that you're not going to get with the machine so that you'll help me somewhere to go next week? Don't be so excited about the stinking $300 that you forget your future. When I back out of the driveway, I want to say, yes, I got me another one. I want to know that I got somewhere to go next week. I want to know that I've got a recruit coming to open house Monday night, but I'm going to change his life. Don't be so selfish that you're only thinking about $300 commission. Don't be selfish. Offer other people the chance to come in and take a look at what you're doing. You might find somebody that'll sell 10, 15 rainbows a month, and you get to spin that wheel. Wouldn't it be nice to make $1,000 every time you sell a rainbow? Wouldn't it? There are people in this country that do that. And they started out with $200 commission just like you. But they saw the big picture. They understood that if they offered and shared the opportunity. See, there's no limit to how many people you can have working under you. If you had 10 recruits and all 10 of them sold one a week, you could sell one a week. Get 10 spins and make $1,000 selling that one. Of course, you're not going to sell this one. This is a simple business. But don't get so caught up in making $300 that you forget that you could make thousands. Because the $300 that you make selling a rainbow today, you won't remember where you spent it 6 weeks from now. But if you get a recruit, if you get referrals, the ball keeps rolling. I know I'm redundant telling you this, but I've never had anybody quit my business and have a place to go tomorrow. As long as you got somewhere to go, you'll still be able to punch the clock. Okay? And I've got to punch the clock in faith for a little while. You got something you want to add with what I've got? Sure. I want to thank y'all for letting me come out. Thank y'all for being here. I hope I've helped you a little bit. Remember that the Rainmate presentation in the kitchen is to generate the vacation. The Rainmate presentation in the kitchen is to generate excitement enough about it. The Rainmate needs to be the greatest thing since sliced bread in the kitchen. But when you leave the kitchen, you left the greatest thing since sliced bread in the kitchen. Now you come in here and show them the grandfather to that. Because this is a grandfather to that Rainmate. Okay? There cannot be any exceptions. There are none. What I hope I can make you understand is the rainbow and everybody else. Because everybody else doesn't have a water filter. So if you think about what I'm trying to tell you, we have a license to steal. We're the only vacuum cleaner on the market that makes any common sense at all. Just teach it. It's not rocket science. Just teach them the dry filters are designed not to work. Let me show you when it works. All right?
You ever use the white filter at all for the exhaust?
I have simplified my demo so much. I used to wet a white piece of gauze and put it at the mouth of the rainbow to show people what their lungs look like reading what's coming out of their machine. If you watched me today, those of you that have been around for a while, you never heard me say one word about suction versus airflow. I've learned that if you go in a home and talk about things that are going to confuse the customer, I don't want to confuse them. I just want to teach them that a dry filter stops up, won't pull air, and a water filter will. I've left plenty of homes, man, that thing's got great suction. I said, yes, sir, it sure does. And it will always have it. I don't want to open myself up to, if they want to think that suction is what cleans their home, I don't care. Okay? So to answer your question, if I'm in somebody's home that has really, really severe breathing problems, kids have allergies or whatever, yes, I will wet a white piece of gauze occasionally and put it behind the exhaust to show them what their lungs look like breathing air coming out of their machine. But then I'm going to wet another piece of white gauze and put it behind the exhaust of a rainbow, and when they're vacuuming our machine when it's done, that one's going to be perfectly clean. And I'm going to have two white pieces of gauze. One of them's going to be filthy, one of them's going to be clean, which so long as you want. It's not that I don't do it. It's just that I've simplified my demo to the point that I don't want the customer to, I don't want to open myself up to an argument. That's why I don't talk about suction versus airflow anymore. I just rather teach you that a dry filter stops up and a water filter won't. Isn't that pretty simple? Mm-hmm. Great, Joe. Thank y'all very much for your time. Thank you. I appreciate you coming today. There will be another training session next Saturday. Billy Myers, one of my peers, is going to be here Wednesday, Thursday, Friday, and Saturday next week. And he's planning to have a training seminar next Saturday also. So let's plan on next Saturday again. And I do thank y'all for being here for me.
Thank you, sir.
You want to know what happened to my left foot? Yes. All right. I went to work at Rose's the next day, and I put my Electrolux on the bulletin board. And one of my best friends at work bought that Electrolux, took up payments on it. Wife had always wanted one. His name was Tom. Shoot. Best friend.
It's a really good friend.
Well, it's been 30 years ago, too.
Okay, so Tom.
He bought my Electrolux, took up payments on it. Said his wife had always wanted one. I said, Tom, I'm going to let you have it. Take up the payments on it. But I'm telling you now, if you ever see a rainbow presentation, you're going to hate my guts. I told him. He bought my Electrolux. About 6 months later, I got his name on a referral sheet. And I went to his home and showed him and his wife the rainbow. And when I got done with the presentation, Tom looked at me and he says, You remember telling me I would hate your guts. I everlasting hate your guts. I picked my own electrolytes up in the trade-in. I gotta go.
All right,
Thank y'all.
thank you. Great presentation.
Y'all use the bathroom real fast. And I'm gonna do a recap of this demo and a little bit of couple questions and a little bit. I got stopped at 10 minutes.
Yes.
Last week. Yeah, whenever it's time. I mean, you just gotta know before here. Vicky's like,
This is a recording?
It
looks like it's short.
That's what I said. I said, she don't need to.
That's all right, man, that's Troy.
A lot of times.
Y'all need a break or not?
Yeah, I'm gonna take one.
No? All right.
I'm gonna take one.
Okay, all right, go ahead.
Hey, boss.
That's bad. You started it yet?
I hadn't started, I just bought it last night.
It's, man, it's phenomenal. It's phenomenal.
Thank y'all.
Thank you.
I read seven habits. I'm gonna tell you the 7 habits. It's a faster read. The 7 habits of highly effective people. Well, I'm gonna tell you what. I couldn't read it fast. I got to about chapter 2, and I was like, that's what's wrong with me. I have found it, and I couldn't read it very well. Oh, you're recording, right? Yeah. Put this on.
I know. That's why I'm coming in here to stop everything.
That's good.
I know.